How's it going, guys? It's Kass. As always, if you've been enjoying my content, then hit that subscribe button. So today I'm just going to talk about my general feelings about Shadowlands and how Demon Hunter feels after a week of playing Demon Hunter. At this point, I have around 2 days played in Shadowlands, which is actually pretty crazy because I'm recording this exactly a week after the launch of Shadowlands and a few hours from that point. Basically, my life's revolved around doing some homework, doing some family stuff for Thanksgiving, and playing World of Warcraft while sleeping very little, and obviously making some videos. And with that said, I've been enjoying the hell out of Shadowlands. I think the expansion is very, very good. I think Demon Hunter is in a pretty good spot. At this point, I've done my mythics and I've done way too many battlegrounds. That's what you're watching in the background. I realized that the best way to farm battlegrounds is just to queue as Alliance. So no, I'm not a Alliance Demon Hunter. I am a Horde player, but I was queuing as Alliance in here just because you got faster queues, and honestly my win rate was pretty similar to what my Horde win rate is, so I didn't really miss out on any potential honor. If anything, it was probably more efficient to do it this way because you just get way faster queues. And that's really one of the points I wanted to bring up here is PvP in Shadowlands is incredible. It's so good. You don't really realize how much you missed not scaling until you get to a point where you just have better gear than people. And for those of you that don't know, since I believe Warlords of Draenor, there's been some form of scaling in PvP, and there's a lot less, if any, in Shadowlands currently. So the amount of impact gear has is significantly better, and you will notice it in PvP. So it actually makes it look like, or it makes you feel like your character is getting much stronger in PvP, which is exactly what you want. You want PvP to feel better as your character gets better. And that's something Shadowlands has proven, and that's something that Shadowlands has done very well, and it's incredibly enjoyable. With Demon Hunter specifically, you want haste verse on most of your gear, and PvP gives you access to the most versatility you can get, and that's most of the reason why I've been doing it, aside from just the general fun of PvP. It's also important to point out, for those of you that are trying to get the highest item level possible, PvP might actually be the way that you do that while also getting the stats that you want. So PvP gear right now is 171, which is heroic level gear, but when the raid actually comes out and you get to 7 renown, that's going to be not this week but the week after, we will actually get to a point where we can upgrade the PvP gear to the same level as Mythic Zeros. So we will have access to the exact same item level day 1 if you cap your honor correctly. So I'm going to have 15,000 honor to spend on upgrades day 1 when the raid comes out, so that way I can get the best stats that I want and also have very high item level to get into pugs. Because me personally, I don't play in guilds. There's a lot of extra drama in guilds, and on Illidan specifically, and with LFG, you can get access to very good pugs very easily. That's one of the only reasons why I stay on this server. And there's also some shenanigans you can do with the legendaries. If you have a rank, if you have any legendaries in your bag, it'll make your bag item level higher based off of the legendary that you have. And I'm talking about just the base crafted item. So you could spend 50, 60,000 gold on 1 or 2 legendaries and artificially inflate your item level if you're getting into groups that are just based on item level. Now, I would suggest if you do that, that if anyone asks, that you tell them specifically why your item level is high, not saying that you're trying to inflate it, but just saying, oh, you're waiting to use the bases. But realistically, if your damage is good enough, if you have the best stats on the gear that you have, which I am planning on doing that, then there's no reason for anyone to question you. Currently, I'm still playing the Cycle of Hatred style build. I may make a video about the specific build that I'm running and the talent selections, if you guys feel like you want me to talk about those more. I've tested out Demonic Appetite, I've tested out Flying Fury. All of those felt pretty good. Nothing really felt that much different with them. And I also tested out Burning Hatred. I ended up using Burning Hatred and Blinding Fury in PvP, and I forgot that I had those on and used them in Mythic Plus, and honestly, I didn't even notice a difference. They both felt pretty good, and after I simmed them, the difference in damage is like 20 or 30 total DPS, so it's extremely minuscule, and realistically player variation is going to account for that difference. So yeah, at this point, I've played way too much World of Warcraft, but I'm still having an incredible amount of fun. I have my Demon Hunter, obviously level 60, almost close to 2 days played on that. I have a Monk also level 60 that I have like 8 or 9 days played, or 8 or 9 hours played on it, excuse me. And then I have a level 55 Druid as well. And honestly, the expansion feels great. It feels really nice to not have to do world quests every single day. Feels really nice to have choices on what to do. PvP is incredible. And honestly, I think that's what I'm going to be doing the most of on my Demon Hunter. The Mythic dungeons all feel pretty good. I haven't been in one that felt awful. And all in all, Demon Hunter feels really good. I expected Demon Hunter to feel a lot worse at max level. Once I've gotten access to items that actually have haste on them and versatility, I feel incredibly strong. I was top DPSing in most of the PvP that I was doing. Obviously, top DPS in PvP doesn't really mean anything, it just means you're fighting the most. But I also was top DPSing in most of the mythics I was in as well. The amount of AoE potential that you have with Blinding Fury and the Hunt specifically, if you're using the Hunt off cooldown on packs and not just waiting for bosses for it, is insane. On top of that, Glaive Tempest is very good. I really think Demon Hunter's in a good spot. I don't think a lot of the nerfs and a lot of the doomsaying people had for it, it really came to fruition. I think if you're a average Demon Hunter player and you get access to good enough gear, you're going to be in a perfectly fine spot. And I think that goes to say with every class. It might not be the best when you look at mythic level players playing the classes and the damage they do. Realistically, that's not many of us. Demon Hunter played at an average skill level is probably going to be in a very similar spot as most other classes, which is a good thing. And honestly, when it comes to melee right now, I feel like melee in general isn't very strong, except for obviously rogues that are ridiculously overtuned, and that will probably get fixed before the raid, hopefully. But that's pretty much it. TLDW, Demon Hunter feels great, PvP feels great, Mythics went fine, the dungeons all feel pretty good. Shadowlands as a whole feels incredible. It's one of the best launches I've had so far, and I'm incredibly optimistic for Demon Hunter as we go forward. Anyway, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, F5 refresh, try it again. Maybe you'll like the second time. Have a good one.